Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Cherish Wanter, and I work with the WIC program as a Nutrition Program Specialist.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mikayla, and I'm the Nutrition Health Promotion Specialist with the Multnomah County Reach team.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tuku. I am a nutrition assistant at WIC.
All right. So, ladies, what's the title of our cooking demo, and what are we cooking today?
Okay, so this demo tonight is part of our series titled A Taste of African Heritage, where we're talking about the nutritious and healthy benefits of eating African food and how they're relevant for a healthy diet. And tonight, Tuku is going to be showing us how to make family favorites. Tell us a little bit more.
All right. So we're gonna make some Ethiopian food. We're gonna make some lentils and some kale with so many different ingredients in it.
Yes. Do you want to tell us some of the key ingredients that you use, maybe for the lentils?
Yeah. We have some lentil here. We washed it, rinsed it, soaked it. That's what we have here. And this is Ethiopian butter. You can get it from Ethiopian store.
What makes it different from regular butter?
It is made with a lot of different spices, and it is purified.
Oh,
And we have butter, pepper,
butter?
straight from Ethiopia.
Oh,
And this is my favorite. I love the smell of it. So this is just it was my personal. And we have some tomato paste and oil, and what else? What did I forget?
Got broth over there.
Broth. Yep. This is for the lentils, and we have some garlic here. Onion, not onion. This is garlic, and this is
Ginger.
Ginger. Yeah, there you go. And onion, tomatoes, salt, pepper, black pepper, habanero. Yep. And these are all for the lentils. And over there,
Glide across.
some kale. I mess up the name all the time. And parsley. And we got some carrots and bell pepper.
Well, I'm going to get out of the kitchen because there's enough.
Okay.
I'll be here asking questions. I'll be around.
Okay, thank you. So we're super excited tonight. I love trying food from different cultures, so I'm excited to learn how to make this so I can try it at home for my own meals. What are we going to be starting with first?
What are you feeling like starting with?
Maybe the lentils, but it might
lentils.
take a little longer.
Right. Okay, let's start with the lentils. We're going to use this lovely bowl right here. And
This is so fancy. This is the fanciest little, what's the name? Stovetop I've used.
right.
So, okay.
All right. And we're going to start with some olive oil.
Okay.
And I'm not really good at measuring, so you can just use as you liking, but that much.
So I can show that. I could be your sous chef tonight. So about
Thank
this
you.
much oil.
And then you can like add it as you go. And that's usually what I do. And then this onion is for 2 of our recipe, so you don't need this
I know,
much
it looks like a
onion.
lot.
Right. I cut 3. You don't need all these onions. We just added so.
And I'm telling you guys, she did not cry. She cut 3 onions. There were no tears, nothing. I was impressed.
No, I used to cry. Now I think all my tears gone.
Which one would you like?
This one.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
We're just gonna mix it,
Okay.
and then when the onion is cooked a little bit, then we're gonna add the tomatoes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So while we're doing that, I'm just going to share a little bit about this African Heritage series. So A Taste of African Heritage was developed by Old Ways, and it essentially just, again, talks about the benefits of eating traditional food, more specifically food from the Afro diaspora. So that includes like the continent Africa, the U.S. South, Latin America, and then also the Caribbean. And if you've had food from those different regions, you know there's just an infusion of flavors. There's just so many flavors that happen in the meal. And we just want to change the narrative of what we think about and when we think about healthy eating. to like encourage people that you do not need to basically reject your cultural foods to be healthy. You just maybe have to learn different ways of cooking to make it a little bit healthier. Yeah.
Right.
So previously we had 3 parts of the course that was led by one of our coworkers, Miss Patrice. Amazing energy from her. She did an amazing job with the first 3 sessions of the course. And she talked about the importance of incorporating leafy greens like kale or collards in your diet. She also talked a little bit about the use of herbs and spices, which is why tonight we have here the parsley. I'm gonna go around you, sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm not gonna say this right. Is it butter?
Yeah.
There we go. We have the butter right here. And then Tuku already shared her favorite herb to use is rosemary. And then again, the butter that she's using today, Ethiopian butter, is also spiced. So when you're adding in all of these spices into the food, you don't really need to add as more salt because you're already infusing so much flavor into it. So usually that's part of the reason why this course is being taught right now, just to tell people that you don't need to have 4 different seasonings, that the first ingredient in all of them is salt. You can just use different herbs and spices to really add flavor to your food. Right now, I would love if you could add to the chat, what are your favorite herbs and spices that you like to use when you're cooking? We would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, and have you tried any of this before?
Yes. Have you tried Ethiopian food before, or maybe from the other parts of the diaspora? Have you tried food from different regions in Africa, food from the Caribbean, Afro-Latinx food before? Share in the chat. We want to hear from you as well. How are the onions doing, Tuku?
Oh, it's going great.
It smells
I'm gonna
so
add
good.
a little bit of oil because
Okay.
it's just too small.
I'm telling you, the smell of onions always just brings life to a kitchen. All right.
Yeah, and Ethiopians, they love their onions. They use so much onions for everything.
Is that the base of like the stews and things is onion?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And that's what's so interesting to me because in West African culture, for a lot of our stews, we use tomato as the base. So when I learned that East African culture, most especially Ethiopian culture, they use a lot of onions, it was just so interesting to me because, you know, different flavors are added to the foods. Tell me a little bit about how you learned to cook.
I learned to cook because when my family moved to US, I come with a bunch of boys, and I didn't like how they cook, so I was cooking for them, and then I was forced to learn basically.
Okay. So did you like learn by yourself by watching like videos online? Did someone help you, or you just kind of wing it and just did things and eventually it worked out?
I just kind of like went in and tried different. I burned a lot. Like I remember like when first moved to US, I wanted to make a turkey for Thanksgiving. I didn't know turkey come with like stuff in there really. So I took the whole thing and shoved it in the oven, and it went from there like experimenting on food. That's how I learned.
Did anyone get sick from the turkey?
We didn't eat once we found out what is inside.
That is hilarious.
My poor brothers were waiting for like Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I cooked, I was like, I want to learn how to cook. And I made like very basic. It was like a stew with fish. And my dad came home and I was like, Dad, look, I made something. And he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So he took a bite and he was like, this is so good. Guys, when I tell you, there was so much salt in this food. Even I tasted it. I was like, my dad might be a little mad. He was like, oh my God, Cherish, this tastes so good. And he ate so much of my salty stew. And I'm telling you, that's probably what helped me to keep cooking. Because, you know, he was just like, it's not a big deal. You tried. I appreciate the effort. You're going to do better later on. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really so good. So how long do you usually let this cook for? Do you like keep time or do you just look at what it looks like?
I just look at it. And that's usually how my cooking is. I just eyeball it, and I just know when it's ready.
When it's ready?
Yeah. But like for people who like this is the first time, you just wait for the tomatoes and the onion to be cooked, and then you add as you go. Like you're gonna add your garlic, you're gonna add your what is it?
Ginger.
Ginger. You can add your ginger, and that's how it goes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the difference between a cook and a chef. A chef is trained in all the details of the time, the quantity, and everything. And then a cook, you're just like, I'm just gonna throw stuff in the pot and make it taste good.
Right.
Did we get any comments in the chat from people about their favorite herbs and spices? Oh, okay.
I like the beef brown curry and berry dishes. And Miss Sabrina said, my favorite herbs are thyme, basil, and rosemary.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss Sabrina also loves rosemary.
Yes. The smell of it is amazing.
It is.
Okay. So about 2 spoons of garlic.
That looks so good. So you want to like tip the pot a little bit so people can kind of see what's in it? There we go.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. Get back on.
You kind of mix it because you don't want to like the onion to be stuck or get burned. So that's why I'm just mixing it around.
Okay, so just keep stirring and stirring so it doesn't stick to the pot.
Right.
Miss Sasha said, you said it's easy to open in store. Is there one in Portland that you can give us across?
There's one that I know of. There's Mercado. That's on MLK. It's right kind of across from the Nike store on MLK, and it's right there. And that's where I purchased the spiced butter and the butter from. So, yeah.
You can also get it from Somali store. There's a couple different halal market. They have barbare. And they might not have the butter, but the butter is also optional, just to add more flavor to it.
Yeah. And I will say, so Tuku came over one time and she brought me food and I was so excited. And I was like, Tuku, I have to eat it with injera. And she was like, well, I didn't bring you injera. I was like, I know. So I went to Mercado and they sell it in bulk. So I just went and I bought a huge thing of injera, and it's like so much that I just put it in my freezer and now it's there. So once I learn how to make this tonight, I'm going to make some at home and eat it with my injera, and it's going to be good.
Okay, we're just gonna cover it for a little bit so you can cook. In the meantime, we can start our.
Okay, let me get out of your way. Is there anything I can do besides just standing here and staring at you?
You can mix the
Okay, I'll be the
onion
mixer.
for me so it doesn't burn.
Okay, perfect.
All right, let's start with to cook the
So,
kale. Go ahead.
like I was saying, so the African Heritage class talked about greens. So now that she's on that, I want to know, what are your favorite greens to eat and how do you usually make them? Are there any greens that you guys eat that's really not a part of like U.S. culture, that are like a little different?
Any green?
Mm-hmm.
I think we like a lot of cabbage, color green. You know, what is the name of the red one?
The red one.
Yeah.
Is it beets?
Beets.
Beets greens?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I've never had beets greens. I'm gonna have to try it.
We can make it together.
Yes, we can make it together. I know for me, culturally, one of my favorites is the leaves of sweet potatoes. A lot of people don't know you can eat sweet potato leaves, and they're so delicious.
Oh, yeah, I never had that before.
Yeah, I love them. And I usually find them at like the Asian store. So.
So, I know we're doing the second part to the African Heritage series. Do you want to talk about the different classes that we'll be teaching on?
Yes. So the second part of the series is going to be starting on Thursday evening, and one of our people are going to drop the link in the chat so you're able to register so you can receive information about the class. But basically, it's going to include 3 other topics. We're going to be talking about using tubers and mashes, and also how do you cook rice and beans to complement each other so you're getting a meal that has a full nutritional profile. And then the last one is going to be more about fruit and veggies. How do you add in other veggies beyond leafy greens that was already spoken about before? And honestly, it's just, like I said, Miss Patrice did such a great job with the first 3 sessions. It was just really conversational. It wasn't just sit here and let me speak at you. We really want to know, what are your practices? What do you like to eat? And how do you honor your traditional foods to stay healthy? So we would love for folks to join us. Ooh, I know. I can't do 2 things at once. Okay. Anything I need to do? That's good.
Add the berber and the tomato paste.
Okay, so I'm gonna add the butter butter now. All of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The spicy, the better.
Is this super spicy?
And about how many tablespoons was that?
Of berber? 3.
Ooh, I can smell the pepper.
Berber itself is like, it's not just a blended peppers. It also have a lot of spice in it.
I feel like that's the difference. I would think between butter and paprika, where paprika is just the pepper.
Right.
Latanya said Swiss chard is good cooked and sauteed. Rona Young said I cook kale like collard greens with cabbage with smoked turkey, onions, garlic, and vinegar. Miss Ruthie said, wow, sweet potato greens, I'll have to try them. And Miss Sabrina says, I love greens, collards, kale, bok choy, and spinach.
Ooh, thank you guys for sharing. We really appreciate it. It's always helpful when it's engaging. Huh?
Just show people what it looks like so far.
Yes. So this is what it looks like right now. Oops. You might need to use this a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smells so good.
I'm telling you. So do you know the first Ethiopian food I try to make at home, what it is? Have I told you this story?
No. What is it?
So I try to make dodo what at home.
You start from like,
What is that?
I don't even make don't know what. That's a lot of work. How did it go?
How'd it go?
It turned out really well. I've made it twice now. The first time I made it, I honestly shouldn't say dodo what. It was just what because I didn't use meat. I used boiled eggs. At the end, I just threw in it to absorb the sauce. And then the second time, I did use chicken. So Mikayla asked, "What is dodo what?"
Oh, it's a chicken soup. Yeah.
It's like a chicken
But you
stew.
cook it with a lot of ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of onions chopping too, because again, the onion is the base of the stew. So I had like literally a bowl like this full of red onions, and I just chopped it, and I was like crying the whole time. But I was like, I have to know what this tastes like. And it uses a lot of butter too. And I didn't have the spiced butter, but I just used ghee as a replacement for that. So add this. See, I'm adding in the lentils right now. But it turned out really good. I was impressed with myself. I was like, whoa.
I am impressive. Like, yeah. I don't.
What was the thing that you made for Cherish's birthday, Tuku?
Oh, that was lentil and split beans.
And what was the
Injera.
injera?
Yeah. We have it.
Yes.
Oh.
We have some injera tonight. You couldn't make Ethiopian food without injera now, you know?
Okay.
No. That's against.
That's against the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just stirring this in real good to make sure all of the lentils are covered with the sauce. So let me know, Tuku, how is it looking?
It's looking perfect.
Okay, so I leave it like this for a little while, or do I add the broth?
Add the broth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just veggie broth, low sodium.
About how long does this whole meal take to cook?
About maybe 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah, especially if you soak the lentils.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes them easier to cook faster.
Right.
Should I add the rest of this in there?
Yeah.
Miss Rona said, light a candle when cutting onions. It really helps.
Oh, does it matter the type of candle? Like, because I know I only have the smelly, cute ones that you get.
that's gonna end up smelling like onion.
Right? You got some passion fruit, onion smells mixed together. So that looks
All
good
right.
too. So you know what's interesting? Someone else made a dish like this, and I think it's from Zimbabwe. If you remember TK, and he called it sukuma wiki.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think
a fancy name.
yeah, sukuma wiki. I was like, oh okay, I know how to
Yeah.
eat Zimbabwean food now.
That's
You
right.
did.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. Oh, we call it goman in goman or shana in Ethiopia.
Gomen or what?
Shana.
Shana? Oh, I like that.
Shana.
What's your guys' favorite restaurant? Like Ethiopian restaurant?
This usually come with like a veggie plate. We just order veggie plate, and they come with. But if you want only like the color green or kale, you can just say goman.
Okay.
But most Ethiopian restaurants speak Amharic anyways. Yeah.
So do you have a restaurant here in Portland that if you did not feel like cooking Ethiopian food, but you still wanted to eat it, that you would go to?
Yeah, I like Gabata. I also like Try Me Ethiopian restaurant.
Okay, so
That's in Gresham.
try me Ethiopian restaurant in Gresham. And how do you say the other one? Say it slowly for us.
Okay, it's Gabata.
Gabata. Okay, there you go.
They have a really good food. They're new and they have a really good food.
Okay.
Those are my two favorites. Other than that, it will be me cooking or my sister cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for those watching online, have you tried Ethiopian food in Portland before? Share with us if you remember what exactly you tried and what were your reactions to it the first time you had Ethiopian food.
Yeah, does anybody else anybody have questions? Feel free to.
Yeah, Miss Sabrina asks, let me see, hold on. What are some of the health benefits of using a significant amount of onions as the base recipe? Has many antioxidants.
There you go.
Good for blood sugar levels. Lots of nutrients. Anti-inflammatory properties. Deliciousness.
Definitely the deliciousness, I agree with it, and all of that too.
Oh, and a good source of vitamin C.
There we go. Same thing with the tomatoes too, a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants as well, I would say. And then we also have some tomato paste in here, which is concentrated with vitamin C as well. So yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about the nutrition profile of these meals. So one thing you would notice is a lot of sources of iron here. You have the lentils, which has a lot of iron, and you have the kale, which also has a lot of iron. And one of the cool things is when you're eating a meal that's rich in iron, if you pair it with something that has high vitamin C, your body is better able to absorb that iron. So again, with this dish, you have the tomato paste that's mixed in with the lentils already. The butter powder, which is made from, I'm assuming, pepper. Pepper has a lot of vitamin C in it too. And then for the kale, you've seen Tuku added in the onions and the tomatoes. She's gonna add in the bell peppers over there, which also have vitamin C. So all of that is really gonna help when we eat the kale for our body to absorb that iron that it has in it. Yeah.
And Miss Ruthie asks, what is injera?
Is it time to bring it out?
I think
Is
so.
it an unveiling?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready for
Time.
it. Okay, so like I said, I got this from Mercado of MLK, and you know, usually in Africa, when we were cooking, you're not cooking for yourself. You're cooking for your family. So this is the amount of injera you get. It's a huge quantity right here.
And what is it made of?
I think you know more than me.
I don't know.
I forget the names in English.
There we go.
Teff,
Yes.
Teff flour.
Injera is made from teff flour, and I think sometimes when they mix teff and barley together to make it too.
Yeah.
It's like a fermented flour.
Right. So
Exactly.
injera is sour because it's fermented.
And I would say depending on how long the person that made it let it to ferment, the more sour it is. So there's variation based on where you're eating it, I would say. So when you make it, Let me just wash my hands again real quick.
Smelling good.
Yeah. All right, so when you make it, because it's been fermented, once you like put it on like the hot plate to make it, it has all these beautiful little like pores in there right here. And I would say this is the best thing because I get excited about food, guys. So when you use this to scoop up the stew, all of the flavor is just seized into these little pores, and you're just like, oh my gosh. So,
Yum.
if you've tried injera before, let us know. What was your experience like the first time? Okay. Ooh,
How's it going there?
it looks good. It's boiling. Any more questions for us in the chat, Mikayla?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Miss Ruthie said, thank you, lady.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Miss Ruthie.
And yum.
Back in there. And I will say, if you decide you wanted to try injera, like I said, I have bought this amount and I just have it in my freezer. So when I want some, I just take it. It doesn't stick together, so I just grab it and I put it in like a toaster oven or something to reheat it. It's still good.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is looking good. Is this almost ready for other stuff? Are we waiting for a little bit?
I just want the carrot to be cooked a little bit longer.
Okay. Yes. So while we're waiting for the carrots to cook a little longer, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back soon. And we're back. Thank you guys for joining us again. Just as a recap, so now we're making Ethiopian food. We have some lentils going on here. I think it's Messier what? And then we have some called kale going on over here, and I think it's gome. Okay, awesome. Is that Amharic or is that Oromo?
That's Amharic.
Amharic. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm learning some Amharic words tonight.
Now look at you. You already know the difference between Oromo and Amharic, so I'm proud over here.
So how is this the sauce going for the kale?
It's going great, and this is what it looks like. It's ready for us to add our
Parsley.
parsley.
We're adding our parsley now. I feel like if you're someone who's never been into kale, you should try this because I can just imagine all these flavors just blending in together. It's gonna add so much amazingness to this food. So when the camera was off, I was asking Tuku, I was like, well, Tuku, I know some cultures, you know, as women go from pregnancy to like postpartum, sometimes their diet change and they eat different things. What is that like in Ethiopian culture? What are some of the foods that women are eating, especially like postpartum?
In Ethiopian culture, a woman who give birth will eat a lot of like barleys, in different ways, and a lot of drink, like a lot of tea, milk, yogurt, especially made for women who just give birth and is supposed to help you recover faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that making sense. For example, when we talk about like whole grains, like barley and teff, there's a lot of nutrients in there. And I think right now, Western culture has realized that teff is a superfood. So I can imagine for a woman who's eating teff regularly, is getting a whole lot of like nutrients from that. And then when you add in like barley, you add in like a lot of fluid to help that breast milk production,
Right.
and then such. Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me tell you a fun fact about Ethiopian culture, specifically like Oromo culture. They have something called the kanafa.
Ganavam?
Kanafa.
Kanafa.
And it is like a necklace that a woman who give birth will wear on their forehead. And it is to identify this woman out in the community and to support her with whatever she's doing. So if she's like going to if she's going to market, let's say she's going to Walmart, I don't know, she'll get to like be in the front line before everybody because they know this woman is just give birth and everybody in the community will identify and support her.
Isn't that beautiful? Like, can you imagine postpartum how our moms have so much going on and going to the store? People are like, you know what, Liv? You go ahead of the line.
Yeah.
Like helping her to. That's beautiful.
Yeah. If she's carrying stuff, it doesn't matter who it is, they'll carry stuff for her, and it's such a beautiful thing. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna add our shell now.
Okay, we're finally adding in the kale. It's ready now. And let me try and scoop a little bit of this out. So this is what the lentil is looking like right now. We added some habanero to it because we like spicy food, so it's a little spicy. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, you said, right? Okay. So again, from all you've seen us doing, this is the salt that we have here right now, and I'm just adding a little bit in here. And we're not gonna need too much of it because again, we added all of those spices. We did use a tiny bit of bouillon off camera and then just a little bit of salt. So you still get that taste of the food in there, but you're not, again, using 4 different seasonings that every single one of them has salt in it. Okay, I'll let that simmer for a bit. Okay. So I brought some spices that I have at home, just mainly to show how you can store your spices. So this is typically what you'll find in a store that you can purchase this kind of size container right here. You can here so you guys can see. And oftentimes when you see these, they're so expensive. They're like $5, $6, sometimes even $10 for this little ones. And oftentimes you're not just paying for the spice itself, you're also paying for the bottle that it's in. So if you see here, I reuse like my peanut butter jars, and I also reuse my almond butter jar to have some spice to save my spices. And I also have some tiny little mason jars that I use to save my spices. And I love using the peanut butter jars because one, they're cheap. Once you buy your peanut butter, you finish it, you just wash it and you can reuse it. And two, I can just label the top and have that one designated for whatever spice that I have. Another cool thing about reusing a container is you're not purchasing the full price for one like this every single time and paying for that glass. You can just refill it. And here in Portland, we're blessed because we have Winkle. And if you go to Winkle, you can buy spices in bulk.
Yes.
Yeah? Is that where you go to?
Yes. Yes, I do. I love my Winkle.
I'm telling you. So when I'm ready, I just go to Winkle, purchase the stuff that I need, and come home and just refill my jar that I have. I don't have to keep buying $10 for this every single time. So that's just some helpful tips over there. But I will say, while Winkle has discount prices, it's good to be mindful of how much spice you purchase at once. Because I've been known to purchase way too much and then have this much, and it takes me forever to use it. So then I have to sometimes put it in the refrigerator to make sure it's stored well, or keep it out if it's cool with that. Okay. How do you store your spices? What are some tips and tricks that you have to share with other folks tonight?
I'm gonna add some salt too, and this is what it looks like so far. Beautiful.
It does look beautiful. And I think for me, what makes it look so beautiful is because I'm gonna generalize here for a second. I would say in Africa, when we cook our greens, we don't do large chops. We make it very, very fine. So just looking at this for me looks so pretty because the cutting is just little slivers of greens. Right. They're not like big chops. But you can cook it however you like and however you're used to.
You can go as crazy as you want with this and as simple as you want it to be. And I think that's the beauty of like cooking is you can make it what feels good to you and what tastes good to you.
Exactly.
So we have some comments. Miss Koo said, thank you for cooking. Miss Jalinda said, love that. Miss Sonia said, American culture is nothing like that for new moms. Sounds amazing. Miss Jalinda said, great tips.
About the
spices. And Miss Ruthie said, yes, what a beautiful way to honor new mothers.
I know, that story like warms my heart so much.
Yeah, I when I had my first child and I didn't have a lot of family around and I was just struggling so much and it just made me miss that so much. And I wish that it's available to every woman in every country, like because you go through so much when you have a child, you know? A little help from community goes a long way.
Yes. Yes. And I feel like that's part of the reason that I love the work that we do and the families that we serve, because we recognize that they're constantly balancing so many things that the little we can do to relieve some of that stress, it feels good. Right. It definitely feels good. So I want to talk a little bit about our group that we do that helps host these educational things. We call ourselves Global Tapas Nutrition. And part of that is because, again, we're trying to honor all of the different cultural foods that the communities that we serve eat and highlighting them. So we say Global Tapas Nutrition. So Global Tapas, you have 3 members here tonight. You met Mikayla earlier, Tuku, myself, and then we have Miss Sabrina, Miss Alicia, and Miss Patrice, who are also part of that team. And what we do is we develop programs for the community that extends beyond clients that are in WIC. So as long as you're in the Portland area, you're in a community, or if you can join us virtually from anywhere and you identify as part of the Black community, you're welcome to our programs that we have. Some of them are open to all communities sometimes, but for the most part, we're really highlighting our communities and the struggles that they face and really wanting to be there for the moms and the dads and the foster parents and the grandparents that are raising the young ones that really do need that support. Anything you want to add to that? I know I just put you on the spot over there. You're like in the midst
I
of
was just
staring your
focused
pot.
on my yeah, it's amazing thing we're doing, and I really enjoy. I myself, I learned so much, and it felt really good to like try to help even a little bit to other people.
Yeah, it's been a great experience for me. So for some of you, maybe you're in a WIC program, you get these text messages from me sometimes. I'm like, join this thing right now. This great class is going on. Or other times I'm just sharing community referrals that I'm hearing about. It's because we really just want to build a network of care for you guys. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the Global Tapestry team is supported by both the WIC program and then the Reach program to really make sure we are again serving our communities. Anything you want to add, Mikayla?
That's what we do. I'm over here hungry.
I know.
Smells so good.
I'm like right over the smells. It's just assaulting my senses right now. Love the color in this too. Like, just look at how beautiful this looks. You have all the different colors in there. Oh.
This you can eat it with bread in the morning. It doesn't have to be only with injera, or you can eat it with couscous. You can eat it with
some couscous right here.
Yeah, couscous. A lot of Ethiopians usually eat it with bread in the morning as a breakfast, and it is so good.
Isn't that an amazing thing? Starting your breakfast out with a bowl of greens. I love it. How is this looking? Is this good? Do I need to add anything right now?
No, just rosemary, the butter, and you're done.
So I can go ahead and add them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, this doesn't take that long. So I'm just dropping the rosemaries in here. And then
rosemary is optional. It's just my personal favorite. And also butter is optional. It smells really good.
What are the spices on here?
Those are the spices.
I love it. When I tell you, I was looking for where to get this, and I was like, I don't know where to get it when I was making my doodle watch. And then Tuku told me about this yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, it's here locally? Okay, is that a good amount? Should I add this one too?
Yep.
That's good?
That's good.
Okay. So we got that extra flavors added there at the very end.
So I looked up kiba butter and what's in it, and it says cumin, coriander, cardamom, cinnamon, and fenugreek. And it's kind of like a ghee because it's clarified, which means it has a higher smoke temp than actual butter.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why when I was making the meal that I made, I didn't have the butter, so I just used a little bit of ghee in it. And this is about done, right?
Yeah, those are done. That's done.
Okay.
You can turn it off.
So let me go ahead and show you guys again. So this is kind of what the lentils look like. And we're going to plate it all in a second, but just showing you.
You want to try the scoop? You okay?
Yeah, I was just like, and now that's, oh, am I trying that?
Yeah.
Ooh! Isn't that the favorite part of being a sous chef? When you get to try it, you're like,
All right, you want to use that?
Yeah, I'm going to use this.
Yeah. It's hitting.
Miss Sabrina said, thank you, Tuku, for sending a to-go box to East County for me.
I got you. Look how much this is. Like, we just got 3. And with all the other veggies, this is so much. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that enough salt?
Ivan. No, I think it's good, yeah.
Enough salt?
No, I think it's enough salt. Okay. And I got a little bit of the ginger taste from it too. I love the addition of ginger to it.
Okay. You think it's cooked?
I think it's good.
Oh, they want me to type
This is what it's looking like.
Okay, so maybe we can try and see if we can, we're gonna take a quick break and see if we can heat up the injera and then plate this up for you so you can see what it looks like. Please, again, add questions for the chat. Okay, thank you guys for coming back. So we're all done with making the gourmet, and then we see what you're all ready. We're gonna call Mikayla, and she's gonna be our tester.
Hello.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
Always.
So we have the injera already plated. Tuku is just gonna add on the other ingredients, and then Mikayla can try it.
All right. So usually in like Ethiopian culture, whoever cook will feed the person. It's called gursha. But I won't gursha you because I don't know if you'll be comfortable with it. But that's
You can feed me if you want.
Do I need a spoon for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me grab.
And also like you eat from like one big giant plate.
Okay.
Everybody eat together.
Give it a quick rinse, and here you go.
Thank you.
Yum.
There you go.
And so do I wrap it up or
That's what it looks like. And so you just take a injera and then
dip?
yeah, you grab it with it.
Show her.
you
Demonstrate for us.
Okay. Let me do that.
Oh, that smells so good.
Want to grab it?
Mm-hmm.
Grab it.
There you go.
Mm.
Let me watch
Yeah.
it.
It's good. It's really good. Really
There we go, guys. You got it.
Perfect amount of spice for me.
All right.
I'm gonna take some for myself because I can't keep watching you guys eat.
So you take a piece of injera, you drop it, and then like, here's gursha.
So you guys can expect to find these recipes later on, and of course the videos are also going to be online as well for you to use. So yeah, you can, for you to use to make your own meal at home for you and your family. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. We have another cooking demo coming up next month for our Juneteenth on June 15th from 6 to 7 on YouTube. So catch that.
Yes. And again, with the class coming up, hopefully someone's going to put the link in the chat for you to register for the next part of the series. And then after that one, that's when we're having the Juneteenth cooking celebration. So please join us. We want to learn about your culture and the foods that you eat. And yeah, enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you, Tuku. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tuku.
I'll leave you guys with the one saying in Afan Oromo, and it is "Waliin nyaatan garaa wal nyaatan," meaning if you eat together with your people, your community, the people you love, the people that you enjoy, then you will have a soft heart or soft spot in your heart for whoever you eat with. So eat with your people.
Yes, eat with your people. I love that. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Aww.